Hello and welcome to Orbit International Youth Talk Show. Now this talk show is a youth space and forum where young people get to share their challenges, hopes, aspirations and dreams. Now today we have two amazing men, young men from Germany, and they have been able to create phenomenal music that is being recognized internationally. They are a ghetto bass band from Berlin, Exburg. And they're here to tell us a little bit about their experiences in Germany, how they've been able to rise to the top, and the sort of challenges they've also been facing as young people, and the initiatives that they're doing in Africa and in Zimbabwe. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm fine.
So, his name is C, and I would really like to know, what does C stand for?
C is a short form of my whole name.
Okay.
That's Zhiang.
Zhiang.
That's my first name.
Uh-huh.
And I got this name C because everybody, when I was a kid in kindergarten and school, everybody called me C. So, and I kept it. I also use it as a artist name.
Okay. Okay.
So
all right.
I thought, like, stick to the root, you know, and just
yeah.
keep it, you know.
So what does it mean?
Actually, C, it's written Z-H-I.
Okay.
That's the sign. The Chinese sign means the will.
I see.
Yeah.
And you have so much will.
I have a lot of will, yeah.
Okay, so you grew up in Berlin.
That's right.
But you are Chinese.
I'm Chinese.
Right. What was it like growing up in Berlin?
It was totally normal for me. So
like you were born in Berlin?
I was born in Berlin.
Okay.
And the history of my parents, my parents were born in Vietnam, actually.
Right.
And but they are Chinese.
Uh-huh.
And they are refugees from the Vietnam War.
Yes.
So they escaped as boat people.
I see.
And so they came to Germany.
Okay. Okay.
And then I was born in Germany, and it was totally normal for me to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. It's just like how I grew up in Zimbabwe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
would say.
what do you think of our country?
It's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Uh-huh.
Very beautiful.
Okay. Have you visited the Victoria Falls yet?
Oh no, we never had time to go there. I mean, this is the third time that we are here in Zimbabwe, and we never managed to go to the Victoria Falls.
We'll definitely make a plan and take you there at some point.
Hopefully. I would love to.
Yeah. Okay, so initially, when you were growing up, what did you want to be?
Actually, secretly, I always wanted to be a musician.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to do something with music.
Uh-huh.
So my idea was, like, maybe to be a music teacher.
Okay.
Didn't work out.
Okay, okay.
And then, yeah.
You wanted to... What do you mean secretly?
Music, actually. Yeah, because it's because actually a little bit of my parents, they wanted me to have a nice education, you know, and be I don't know, a chef or like a car mechanic or something like that, you know, because they said, like, there will always be cars in the world, you know, you always can repair cars.
And we know how famous Germany is for cars.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
okay.
proper for cars.
All right. Okay. So, when you did decide, when was that point when you decided that, listen, I'm actually going to take music seriously? What inspired you?
I had no choice, actually. So I did education as a chef, so I learned cooking.
So you can cook?
I can cook really well.
Wow.
So, like,
okay. Yeah.
That's also one of my missions, you know, to go to other countries and then discover how they cook, you know, and what's the food and what they used to cook and what spices and stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, and actually after my cooking education, I had to find work, and it wasn't easy, and I had no work, and then I had to live from the government for 6 months, and then I decided, that's not good, you know, because I just received money every month for 6 months, and then I went there and said, like, you have to stop that, and I have to concentrate on my music. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the name of your group. Your name, the group name is called SYMBIZ.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That's actually just a joke.
Okay.
And it's the group started actually with Buddy, my partner, and his brother.
Okay.
And Buddy, his initials are Sebastian Junkyong Meyerholz, so that's SYM.
Right.
And his brother, he was a DJ. He had this joke. He went once to a Turkish fast food restaurant. Like we call it imbiz.
Okay.
You know, it's like you can get snacks there.
Okay.
Like they cook really fast.
Okay.
And he went there to buy some food, and then the guy, the owner, the Turkish guy, he said like, "Hey, you want to buy my imbiz? You people, you always have imbiz, right?"
Okay.
Because we have a lot of Asian people. They sell like fried noodles, you know. And stuff
yeah,
like this. And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
And then he called himself as a DJ Chris Imbiz.
I see.
And then imbiz and the initials of Buddy is like SYMBIZ.
Right.
So that's the.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what sort of genre do you guys specialize in?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Okay.
We really don't know what music we do. You know, that's
Okay.
like can you tell what kind of music it is?
Well, yesterday when I came to one of your performances,
Yes.
it's very diverse. You understand?
It is,
has
right?
a lot of mixed culture in it,
It is.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
So, from what I read, it's like you do a lot of hard rave mostly, but at the same time, I figured that it's mixed. It's a mixture of different cultures, and
Yeah.
you try to pick from different things all over.
It's
So
like us.
That's what you guys are.
This is what we are. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
All right. Okay. So, do you feel like your music is appreciated more in Germany or outside?
Actually, in Germany, you have a small small group of people
Yeah.
who is listening to this kind of music, I would say. And because we have so much influences, it's always a little bit easier to play somewhere else.
Okay.
For example, in South America, we have a lot of South American influences and people they can adopt, and then they feel the vibe in it, you know, and then they yeah.
Why do you
it's
think
like-
in Germany it's not like a lot of people feel the vibe as much as?
I mean, if we would put like German influences in it, maybe they would also react like somewhere else, you know, like in Africa or like South America or something like that. But it's really hard to get like to put German rhythms.
Okay.
There's actually not the real German rhythm.
There isn't a German rhythm?
There's like something like something like this, you know, but that's not really interesting to put in our music.
I see.
You know, it's like,
well, after the short break, we'll meet C's partner and band member Buddy, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about SYMBIZ, the music group that has grown worldwide. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the show. Now, just before the break, we were with a young man named Zhiang from Germany, and he is part of a group named SYMBIZ. And right now, we're with his partner, Buddy. And Buddy's here to tell us a little bit more about their band, why they keep coming back to Africa, what's their real interest in Africa, and you know how they've been able to collaborate with different musicians and actually teach them more about the work that they're doing. Welcome, Buddy.
Hello. Nice
How are
to be
you?
here. I'm very good. Very good.
Okay, so you also grew up in Berlin?
No, I didn't actually. I grew up in a small town called Braunschweig, which is approximately 240 kilometers straight west of Berlin. Okay. So in the middle north of the country.
Okay, so you've always wanted to be a musician?
Yeah, I started to play violin when I played 9 years of violins when I was a kid.
Really?
Yes.
You loved it? Because isn't it painful when it's here?
No, I mean you do get like a red mark here when you play like violin. But it was I wanted to play violin because my dad played violin.
I see.
And then I kind of, when I was 15, I wanted to play guitar and make bonfires and play punk rock music, you know, so and then I kind of stopped.
Okay, so you were always kind of into
I was always into music. Yeah.
I see.
And then later, when I was 15, I started to have my own bands. It was kind of like the emancipation from classical music, I guess.
I see. So why did you decide to move from classical music to rock? Or,
Punk rock.
Hard rock?
Well, when you're a teenager in your puberty, you want to do your own thing. You want to kind of like do something that is cool, and playing violin was not the coolest thing.
I see. So it's peer pressure.
A bit, but on the other hand, it was also important to do my own thing.
Yes.
Whereas classical music was a lot about learning a piece and being told how to interpret it, and like.
Okay.
It's just,
okay. So, how long have you been coming to Africa for? Let's start with Africa.
This is our 5th time that we come to an African country. The first time was actually here in Zim also.
Okay.
And that was, I think, 4 years ago for Shoko Festival.
Okay, all right.
And that was the first time my feet touched the African soil, actually.
Okay, so let's talk about the music that you make. I was asking Zhiang before, and he was saying, man, I don't even know the sort of music we make. Do you know the sort of music you make?
I know what kind of music we make, but I have no idea what to call it, I guess.
Okay.
The thing about SYMBIZ was that it was always about just like incorporating different kind of music that we listened to at that moment and that we liked, like that has a good energy or like an interesting rhythm or something. And so it has changed a lot through the years, and it was always about, rather than following one genre, it was more about kind of creating a certain sort of energy. It was always about the live shows.
I see.
And we produce music, but we mainly started to produce music to have material for the live shows. And the live shows are about a lot of energy, about like crowd engagement, about kind of making people dance and sweat and scream and things like this.
So what sort of impact have you been able to make, traveling in different countries and playing your music? Because I was like at one of your performances yesterday, and you guys were like passionate and in it. What sort of impact do you expect your music to make? Have you made?
Well, kind of what you said. If that was the case, what you said, then we kind of reached our goal, I guess. To make people. In the end, it's entertainment, right? So you want people to have a good time. You want people to go outside of their comfort zone a bit.
Yeah.
A show that is crazy is always a good one. and I think an impact, if somebody sees that and says, wow, it was really cool, and or if some musician says, I saw them and I want to do something like that, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And also, generally, this traveling with music is, you meet a lot of people on the road. And it sounds very naive, but in the end, you just need to be a good person. And if you make the impact of, if somebody, we've been to a lot of places where very few foreigners go to.
I see.
And some places that are very inaccessible unless you're being invited. And then I talked to a little boy in a barrio in Caracas in Venezuela, and he could not believe, where are you from? You're from, this is so far away. And we were really nice to him, and he was nice to us. And then in the end, I guess if we leave the impression that people from Germany look like Asians and are really nice, then that's a good thing.
Yes, that's true.
And I also like that here, for example, we were invited by the ZGS.
Yes.
And which is the Zimbabwean German Society, and so it is the Goethe Institute is a representation of German culture abroad.
Okay.
And if people like us, looking Asian, I guess a bit,
no, you
playing.
Do. You do. Yeah. Okay.
And playing very un-German sounding music.
Yes.
And we get to represent German culture. I think that's really nice.
It's pretty cool.
It's a bit ironic, but nice.
But
like
you are a German, right?
Yeah, I am.
Definitely.
I was born in Germany. I lived all my life with a German passport.
Exactly.
Doesn't get more German than that.
Well, after the short break, we'll continue with C and Buddy on the same table as we're going to be talking about their own new record label. How do you pronounce that?
Yeeruh Records.
Yeeruh Records. And we're going to be talking about what they plan to do with their record in Zimbabwe, because we are not going to let them go until they change young people's lives through their record. And we're also going to be talking about the workshops that they've been doing, sharing their experiences. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the show. Now, just before the break, we were with two amazing young men, C and Buddy, and they were telling us a little bit about their band, which is from Germany, and they're from Germany. And they were telling us a little bit about SYMBIZ, which is their band name, and how it has been able to, you know, go to different cultures, share their music. They actually don't really know what sort of genre they specialize in, which is fine, because if you get to hear the music, it has a little bit of Kwaito, you can hear some Chinese, you can hear some American, you can hear Jamaican, you can even hear some Zim dance hall, man. So listen, they're back, and we're gonna talk to them about their new record label called Yeeruh, and we're gonna talk to them about their plans on what the record is all about and how they plan to, you know, expand it, and the initiatives they've been doing in Zimbabwe. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so let's talk about the workshops you guys have been having, sharing your experiences with young Zimbabwean producers. What do you hope to achieve from those workshops, and how do you, hope to help these young people in Zimbabwe, these young producers?
I think first of all, what's important is like a workshop. It's not necessarily about us helping other people. It's more about like having an exchange.
I see.
And it's about like what we did today. For example, we just talked about our concepts of making beats, and we explained the concept behind our live show.
Yes.
And then people were like talking about how they see things, and then we got a bit more into detail about production techniques and stuff like this. But I think what's important is it's not like us coming lecturing people, because people know what they're doing. It's more like about, as I said before, like having an exchange.
Yeah.
And
I love how you say it's not about lecturing people, because people already know what they're doing. I love the fact that you actually have respect for, different producers in their certain spaces. Yeah. But sometimes you guys might have more experience than them. Yeah, and you need to share that sort of knowledge.
It depends,
Yeah.
For example, if you listen to a production, somebody you met today in the workshop, it sounds proper. It sounds really professional.
Yeah.
And this is the point where you can exchange, because they maybe use a different way to produce their music. Everybody has his own way to produce, it doesn't matter where you come from, everybody
You're right.
has their own style.
Okay.
And this is really interesting. This is the point where it gets interesting for us also, and to exchange this, how we do a certain sound, or how they do this, or how they produce music which is super fast. You think like, wow, how they do that?
Yes, exactly. So you guys get to learn too from them.
Yeah, we learn a lot.
Oh, that's amazing, man. So I hope you guys will be continuing these workshops, every time you come back. I know you're leaving soon, but we're going to make sure you continue under orbit. Definitely. Okay, so let's talk about Yeeruh.
Well, Yeeruh Records. We founded Yeeruh Records last year, I guess, with the release of we released 2 EPs in Chinese.
Okay.
There's going to be a third one coming.
Can you speak Chinese?
No, but he can.
Okay.
And we used the release of the second EP as the starter for our own label. And we partnered up with friends of ours who have a music video production company, and they do label work also, and we just thought it would be nice to have kind of an outlet for our own music and for music that we like and that we like and support, and that is coming from our friends. And and it's just, I mean, what is a label? It's like a platform to present music and to push music that has been kind of in a way curated by us, that we have chosen to but it's in the very beginning, and we're mainly playing live, so it won't be the focus of our lives, because playing live is going to stay that, but we just thought, why not start a second path, you know?
Well, thank you so much, C and Buddy, for coming through to Orbit, and we wish you all the best in all your endeavors. Actually, great news. Yeeruh Records under C and Buddy have agreed to partner with Orbit and be part of the Orbit mentorship program. So keep watching in, and I hope there are young musicians or young producers out there who want to be mentored by Yeeruh Records. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through, and thank you to all our viewers. Now you can reach us on www.orbit-international.org, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. See you next time.
Like, so the bass is just wobbling away. I just can't find the beats.